Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Revolana. Today we're going to talk about preparing your website for launch. And if my saying that makes you want to cry, please, I want to encourage you, go to Revolana, revolana.com or Louology.com. Click on the services, look at all of the things that we do. And we don't charge a lot. Just go ahead. Let us take it off your plate. It makes us smile. It makes us excited while it makes you cry. You can also ask at revolana.com if you have any questions. If there's something you need us to do, you don't see it as a service, we'll tell you if we can do it for you. And our pricing is always amazing. So I'm going to show you two things. These are all website templates that come with your Revolana system, and you're just in sites. And what happens is when you go over to sites, it defaults to funnels here. This video is not about funnels. I have a different video about funnels. So we're going to click over to websites. You're going to see there's a website for every scenario. Just look at which one applies to you the best. Do you have multiple locations, single location? Are you inside another practice? Do you have a mobile practice? Look at those, pick the one that applies. Those are multi-page websites. Or you can start with a quick start. And you can just build a very robust one-page website if you're doing it yourself, and or if you just want to keep it simple to start. It's a very way to keep it simple. I'm going to start with a quick start. If you're going for a multi-page website, in both scenarios, you're getting the entire Revolana system. But if you're going with this multi-page website, you can just fast forward through the beginning of this video until we get to the multi-page websites. So I'm going to open up this single page website, which is called the Quick Start, and it works a little differently. I'm going to show you. So it's very similar, but it's different. It's one page. You want to start at the top, and you'll notice this says button, right? That's a button. So that's the phone number. What you want to do is go over here, look around, right? And then you're going to see the text color needs to change to your branded colors. We chose this color because that matches almost, if you forget, it matches almost every color. But you want to change that color of the text in here to your brand color. If your brand color is not in this palette, then you want to click here and add your hex. You want to name it like your company name, our green, like I want to say Revolana purple, right? And then I want to put in our hex color, which a hex color is usually £, and then it's like 02B6B8, right? And that would be our teal. So you want to just make sure you want to make sure you get your brand colors in there. If me saying this makes you want to cry, after you put in that hex color, this is going to light up. You add color, click on add color, and it adds it to the palette. And when it adds in there, what you're going to see is when you put your mouse over, when you just mouse over a color, it tells you custom color number 2. Well, that doesn't say Revolana teal, so that's not it. This doesn't say Revolana teal, so that's not it. There's going to be another one in here because I added the color and I named it Revolana teal. It's going to show up Revolana teal. So I hope that makes sense, because that's going to be relevant for every single one of these things, right? So once you're done with that phone number, you're going to scroll down and you're going to see this text here. You have to change this text to your actual phone number, and I recommend that you put it in with hyphens. This is going to allow someone to, and by the way, you also have to put it in down here. So you're going to put it down here because this is what the text is going to say when people are looking at it. But this is what it's actually going to call when people click on it. Okay? So you need to add the phone number here, and you need to add the phone number here. Make sure that's set to call, because there are other choices, but you want to make sure it's set to call, and it'll call. If you want people to click to text you instead for some funny reason, you can have it SMS, right? But then you have to add the words click to text. Here, you want to add the words. So the words would go here. You would say click to text, right? When you add it in this field here, notice it shows up here. Also notice that when you're in that field and you change this color, to orange, it's going to change that text to orange. So whatever color you're going to want to make sure that's your brand color text, that what it says is what you want it to say. You can even change it back to call. I'm just showing you that you have choices. So you can change it to say click to call. But we're going to take that out. Most people know when they see a phone number on their cell phone displayed, they click it and see if it works. So this is going to be click to call. And that's that. Now here, what you want to do is get to that outer layer because this line, when we get out of there, I'm going to click down here. This is not your brand color. So you want to click inside this blue box and you want to change the background color. Let's say this is your brand color. This is going to change that to your brand color. So just make sure that you have this down and you have your brand colors all set. And I'm going to send that back to where it was. And then when you're done with this bar, you go down to this part. You want to upload your own logo here, not the Revolana logo, right? So that's one thing. So what you want to do is scroll down until you see this logo, brand logo. There's a little image of a picture here. When you click there, it's going to bring you to your website, your Revolana website media library. And this might be blank for you and depressing at first with nothing in it. But if you don't see your logo in these choices, and by the way, if you go to the services page of Revolana, you can see we do full service setup. When you get us on either the setup services or the monthly tech support and creative services, you will also get a huge database of very, very authentic, like we have a huge database of videos and images of aesthetics specific pictures that look very authentic. They're beautiful. So you get that too when you hire us to do this for you. But otherwise, you have to get resourceful. So if you don't see your logo in here, you have to click on Upload File. This opens your computer. It opens up your computer. You have to find out where your pictures are. Click on, where your logo is. Find it, double click, and it adds it in here. Once you see it in here, like right here, just double click and it fills it in, it sizes it and everything in that spot. Okay. Now the other part of this top nav is that here, all of these, let's say you don't like that it says treatments. You want it to say something else. Specials, bundles, contact us, shop. Maybe you don't have a store. So you want that out of there. So what you're going to do is while you're clicked inside this box, you're going to scroll up. You're going to see this list. There's the nav. It's the menu items, the nav right there, right? So we don't have a store. So what do? I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go into here and then I'm going to press delete and it's going to go away, right? So when I press delete, it says an embedded. So go ahead. Don't be afraid if you really want it out of there. It doesn't delete shop as an option forever and ever. It just deletes it off your site for now. You could always add it in later when you have it. So, and let's say I want specials first, not treatments first. I can move those and it just puts specials first, treatment second. Let's say I don't like bundles. Maybe I want it to be loyalty packages. You click here, instead of bundles, you're putting loyalty packages. And then when you press submit, it changes it, right? Now, I don't want to change anything else on here at all. Don't touch this stuff. Keep it the same. Because what this does here, go to website URL, and then this very fancy little URL string, don't touch it. That's actually a section of this one-page website. This one-page website works in sections. So for instance, I'm going to press submit. When you go to on the live website, and I can even show you a preview, Boop. So on the live website, when you go to loyalty packages, it brings you down to the loyalty specials, right? So, and this is still the same website. It's just a section. When you click on treatments, it goes to your treatments, right? So when you click on contact us, it goes to the contact us section of your web page. So that's how the one page website works, in sections. The multi-page websites work in full pages. So the treatments would go to an entire treatments page, if that makes sense, right? And what you want to do as a newbie while you're working on the back end is, let's say you made 1 to 2 changes, press the save button every change. Press it after every single change. Because let's say you made a change, like you just deleted the shop button, but then you changed your mind. If you had pressed save up to that point and then you deleted shop, you can either try getting it back by hitting this undo button right here, or you can leave the page and it'll bring it back. But I'm actually going to undo because I don't want to change the template too much, because I'm just showing you how it works. So you can undo, or you can leave the page and come back. Either one, but it gets rid of the last thing you did. And then you're safe. If you're pressing save and you just want to get rid of one thing, you're safe. You're not going to lose all your work. So then we get to the next section, and you'll see that what we want to do is we want to replace that image. Let's say you don't do injections, right? And that's a picture of someone getting an injection. So you want to go here again and then go into your library. If you don't, let's say you do laser hair removal, you're going to change that image, and that's what's going to show up behind there, right? And then if you want to change the words, you go in there, you're going to just go right in there and change the words. If you don't want those words in there to be white, then what you're going to do is you have to go over here, and that looks like bold print. So look, bold text color is white. Let's say I want to change it to red. There, it changes to red. That looks horrible now, right? So we're going to change it back to white. So that's one thing. And same thing here. If you want to change the color into your brand colors or have this look different, you can have that look different. There's more advanced features that I'm not going to really go into. I just wanted to go into the basics, but there's things like overlays and all kinds of things, and fades. So when you're in this area, like you can have a shadow. So let's say I do a 40%, I'm going to say a 40% drop shadow. It adds a shadow between that image and the web page. That's sort of cool. So you might like that. And when I click down here, you can really see it. See that shadow showed up? I like this shadow. So that's something you might want to add to it. And then when you're clicked in here too, let's say it's you want to, it's got a fade on it. And let me show you the difference. So this is called a half fade. A half black background color is the black color, and we have it on half fade. So we can do no fade, but then the white is really hard to read on the white image. We can do a light fade, which makes it much easier to read, and that might be good enough. Or you can do half fade or a real heavy fade, right? So I think based on what I saw, I sort of like the light fade. So it keeps it bright light. I like that. I like but you shouldn't do a lot of fancy design only because a designer already worked on this. And then you can change what you want to say here. And then, of course, these are bold print. So this is the bold color. If you want to change the bold color to your, let's say your brand color is not in here. Remember, you have to go here and you have to add it in. You have to name it, add in your hex color, add color, and then choose it. When it pops into the palette, it pops in toward the bottom. So as one of the first ones. So you want to choose that color and make sure this all matches, including this button. So when you click on a button, you're going to see there's 3 different things, actually 4. So there's what the button says, And there's the color of the button. And the last thing is where the button goes. So when you click on the button and you're in this area, it says that button is scrolling to the element, which is your Contact Us form. So that's good. Book a consult, that's your Contact Us. So that's good. If you want to change the color of the button, you scroll up and look for that purple, right? And then you can change the color of the button just by doing something like that, right? And then, but I'm going to put it back. So that's one thing. The other thing that you notice about this button is that it's moving and it has a shadow underneath it. If you want it, for instance, to be all uppercase, it's set to uppercase. If you want it to be title cased, watch. So it can be capitalized. So it changes the way that it looks on there. Designer says uppercase, all uppercase is the best look. So trust the designer. Designer says elevate is the coolest animation, so leave it. You have other options you can play with, but then get it back to animate. You can make it glow. You can make it see it glows. You can also make it rock back and forth, which is a little creepy. I don't know. There's something scammy about that I don't like. You can make it bounce. That's also a little bit scammy and weird and pushy. Wobble. But you can, the best thing to do is elevate. And then far shadow is the designer, the professional graphic designer's choice. So just keep it on far shadow, but you can play with shadows on the button and that kind of stuff. I wouldn't really mess with anything else except for maybe the size of the button. That would be the width of the button. So you can go full width, which is sort of weird, or just go fluid. And this makes it more responsive on mobile. It's just better. And then the other thing you want to do too is just like fill in the words. Make sure this is not bold printed. So if you want to change the color of that font, you go to the one that's just regular color, not bold printed or anything. That's the color. If you want to change that piece, then it's going to change it, right? But let's put that back. And then same thing. If you want to change the color of the font, you're going to do that. These images, just so you know, these images have to be square. The images behind the circles have to be square. So if you don't know how to do it and that makes you cry, hire our creative services. Let us help you. We don't want you crying. But essentially, that's what these are. These are square images behind, with the round outside. One thing you can do in the advanced tab here is instead of circles, you can make them around corners like that. So designer likes the circles. So just make sure it's a square image, and that way it's not going to distort the image when it's made into a circle. And same thing, you want to change the words, you just click on it, change the words. You can link words, you can do all kinds of things here. I'm not going to go into this in too much detail, but when you're in there with the words, you can you can link it to somewhere, but I wouldn't. Well, you can link it to your treatments area of the website, but you want them there and booking the appointment on this one page website. That's the best thing to do. Let them just read it with no links anywhere, and just have them book the appointment, right? That's what you want them to do on the one page website. This could be a video, it could be an image. This right now, look at that. It's a photo of you. Let's say you want to put a video in there instead. All you're doing is you're going to click delete, and then you're going to add an element, and you want to put in a video. So now that's going to be a video. Okay? So when you have a video to put in, super simple. All you're going to be doing is either you're going to see, is it a YouTube? Is it a Vimeo? Wista? Is it custom embed, HTML5, hosted video? Let's say it's YouTube. All you're doing then is watch. I don't even know what video this is, but oh, that's a Vimeo link. So it's telling me wrong. Okay, it's a Vimeo link. So let's hook it up. Let's hook it together. Vimeo and Vimeo. And look, hey, there's Revolana's website. That's a video about Revolana. So anyway, it pops in like that. It's really awesome. And then you get to specials and events, same thing. You want to get the colors. You want to get the background color to match your brand color. So you just click in the background and then click on that pink, turn it to your brand color. If your color's not in the palette, add it into the palette and name it. And then all of these you can edit to your heart's delight. Everything's about the same. The buttons work the same. These we have glowing because they're on dark backgrounds. And the glowing buttons look really cool on dark backgrounds. So designer says, go with glow. These you want to fill in with testimonials. You want to have your review link. So this is a long story, but this is a link, right? So you want to click on it. It's a button, right? You go over here, website URL. You want to make sure you put your reviews link in here. And when you put your reviews link in there, then you press the save button. And when people click on this, it goes right to them putting those 5 stars next to your company name in your Google page. And we have a separate video on how to create your how to set up your reputation management system inside of Revolana, because it is built in. It's pretty cool. And then we have finally on this one-page website, we have this form. So you want to fill in all the blanks. Notice this is also one of those buttons where you can change the words. You can change the phone number. Over here, click to call. And then here, subtext is the phone number. And then this is where the phone number actually goes. So make sure you set it to call this number, or like click to text. This can say click to text, and you switch this to SMS. So you have choices, right? And then you press save when you're done. Now, this is a form. So if this color doesn't match your color scheme, the way that you change the color of form submit buttons is you have to get out of here. I'm going to leave without pressing save because I made a lot of changes that I don't want to save. But I'm going to click out of there. We're going to go to sites. We're going to go to forms. And that was a contact us form. So let's see, website contact form, right? Let's go to edit. And then you're going to see the button here. Click on the button. You're going to put your hex code right there. And your hex code is going to change the color of that button. So let's say we want it to be our Louology teal. We're going to put in the O2 B6 B8, and that should change it to the teal color. So anyway, I'm not going to save that. But if you once you do that, you want to click on the form, and do not forget to do this. Click on the form, press save, and it saves the changes. And now on that home page you just looked at that had the contact us button that was gray, now it's going to show up as that teal color. But I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to get out of here. It's going to warn me I have unsaved work. In this case, I'm going to say, okay, we're out of here. And it's not going to save it. It'll go back to gray. So that's so far what we have on the one-page website. Now, let's go back to sites, websites, and go to the multi-page website. So we were just at the quick start. That never leaves that one page. I'm going to go to this first one. All of these websites are usually 5 pages. So you're going to have your home page, specials and rewards, services, contact us, events and private groups, and then your thank you page, right? So when we go into the home page, it just acts a little bit differently. And don't be afraid when you're making changes in the header area. I'm going to scroll up. When you make changes in this header area, this changes it in every single page of your website. So you're going to get a really scary warning like, oh no, right now you're changing a global setting. Blah! So all you have to do is say, okay, that's fine, because I do want that change to apply to every single site. So let's say you change the Revolana picture to your own logo. You want that to show up on every single page as your logo. and not the Revolana logo, right? So that, again, you just click here, go get your logo, double click on the picture, it'll load right in, and then it'll show yours. Again, the same thing. You want to go here and you're changing the background color from purple to your branded color. So you're going to click on the outside edge of this to get the entire thing, right? You're going to see that color show up. And then let's say you want to pick orange for some reason, it's going to change the whole thing, right? And then you'll also notice this looks to have an outline around it. So you're going to want to get to the advanced tab and really have, and oh, it doesn't. So it has no border. The only reason it looks that way is because I'm clicked on it right now. So when I click out of there, it goes away. So there's no border. But the same thing I said before, you can delete pieces of this. You can rename pieces of this. You can reorder them by when you're clicked into the top nav and you scroll to this area. This is where you can make your changes. Now, notice the big difference between what happens in the multi-page website versus the quick start website is that where it says services, it doesn't say go to URL. On the one pager, it said go to URL, and it had a crazy string of like pound signs and stuff there that took you to a section of that one page website. In your multi-page website, it's going to go to page. So we want services going to page services, and then press submit. And then packages and rewards, right? Same thing. We want packages and rewards going to the internal page, your web page, packages and specials, right? Press submit. So that's okay. You just want to make sure they're all going to the right place. When you get into live mode on the website, that's when you can test all the buttons. So you just want to make sure while you're in here that your logo, you scroll all the way down, make sure that you have your domain name here so that logo always brings people back to your home page of your website. No matter where they are, whenever they see that logo and click on it, no matter what page they're on, it's going to bring them back to the home page of your website. In the beginning of this video, when we were talking about the Quick Start website, I went into all of the things you can do with this homepage image, this header image. So please make sure if you skip forward that you go back to the beginning and just watch all of the things you can do with this image, how you switch it out. In this case too, you want to also always look at each button. Make sure the color's right. Make sure you like what it says on it. In this case, that's an Instagram. It's bringing someone to Instagram. You can have this header area bring you anywhere you want, right? So, but in this case, it's Instagram. So you want to scroll down to the bottom here when you're clicked in there and just make sure that it's your Instagram link, your social link, right? And just test it first to make sure it works. Put it in there, press save, and you're done, right? And then that button should work. Same thing that I had said with these round images. It has to be square images behind the round images. If they're rectangular images in these round areas, it's going to squish them. It doesn't work. You have to resize the images so they're square to make them look like good like this. If you're getting too frustrated and you want to cry, let us help you. Go to the services page of Revolana, but you can also go to the advanced tab and you can scroll up. You want to click on the image, go to that advanced tab where it says circle, just go to round corners. This is a little more giving when it comes to the rectangular images, but no matter what, a square image is going to work the best in that situation. So, and if you click none, that really doesn't do anything other than make the ends pointy square. So just notice those are square images. So if we want to circle around them, it looks better. Designer says circle looks best, so make sure you do that. With your descriptions, it's always good to make them all about the same. If you have one you want to have stand out, or say a little more, it's okay. When it's on mobile, it renders differently anyway, like this on mobile, so it doesn't matter, but it just does look better when they're all about the same length, character count. And then as you scroll down, you want to just go through. These are actually icons. You can replace these little images because that's what they are. When you're clicked in here, you go back to that general area, and then you scroll down till you get to this. You can put whatever images you want in that little spot. But same thing, just make sure they're square. It's going to look better. Or you can just leave these. They're there for a reason. Designer says these are adorbs. So chances are you want to keep them. You can change the colors to your brand colors here. Change this to whatever verbiage you wanted to say. We did design this so this verbiage can work for almost everyone. You don't have to worry about it. And then here, again, you can change the overlay. So when you look at this, remember what we were talking about in the advanced tab too. Um, you can make changes here, but I would stay away from that. You can easily just go in here, leave it alone, and then just you can change any part of this we talked about if you'd like. But designer says this is adorbs. No matter what, you can just change the image behind it, but you might want to keep the color and the overlay the same, only because of that contrast that you're going to see with that. Like for instance, this wouldn't be a great image for back there, right? Because then you can't even read this. So you see how what I did just sort of ruined the design, and then you can't read this. So maybe we turn this to black instead of white. But it's not going to look as good. It's not going to work as well. So I'm going to do the back thing, undo, right, and get it back. And then again, if this is going to make you cry, just find your nephew who can help you with this, or just reach out and look at our services page and let us help you. So what should I talk about next? So this happens to be the template of a mobile injector, right? So this person doesn't have a location. So in this case, for instance, we just have an image that depicts that, like, where is Deborah this month, so it's a little different where you may not have a location in, let's say, Deborah, she serves California, Crescent City, Salt Lake City, and Phoenix. You might just want to have the cities named here, not the address. But when the address is named here, you want this. This is actually going to be a button, not a paragraph, because this one is different. So you're going to have a button, and that one is going to be the same as the telephone number, where when you go to when it's a button, you're going to scroll down. You're going to be able to change what it says and also change where it links to. You're going to have the address there. So when people click on it, it brings them to Google Maps, right? And then instead of this picture, what we're going to do is on the other one, we're going to have, it's actually going to be an element that's HTML code. So you can put custom HTML, or you can just have your logo there, a picture, and keep it the same, just load a picture in there that you like. But when you have custom HTML, what you do essentially is you're going to click there, open the code editor, and you're going to paste that location. And I'll show you for a second. So let's say I go to a new browser and I put in, I'm going to put 4410 East Turquoise have Phoenix, okay? Um, so it's going to bring up the map, right? So once you have the map, you're going to click on that. And when you get on the page, you can either do it here where you press the share button and then you copy. Oh no, you have to copy the embed code. So you want to click here, embed the map, right? Copy HTML, right? And then you go back to your website and then you click here at the very beginning and then you do Control V, or you can right click and do paste and then watch. So yes, save. and it pops in there, but you can't tell, right? But when you go into preview mode of this page, then what's going to happen is it gave me that warning because that's one of those things. Once you update it somewhere, it's going to update it in other places, your website too. But watch what happens. Now it shows the map of 4410 East Turquoise, and people can just click on that and it brings them to Google Maps and it gives them directions. So that's a good thing to do with your website. So what I'm going to do, hopefully it'll work fine, is I'm going to go back into the builder and I'm going to do an undo. And it brought back the picture. So that's good. We didn't fix that. And remember, I talked about the submit button being that teal color instead. That's what I mean. You're going to have to exit here, go into sites, and then forms, find the contact us form, change that submit button to your color, click on the form itself until you see that save button, save it, and then it just automatically pops in here the updated color. Or if you make any changes to that form under forms, it's going to update here automatically because this is embedded in here. And then this can say whatever you want. And you want to make sure that all of these link to your social pages, to your Google Maps page, your Google business page. And let's say you don't have any YouTube, just delete it. You can just go up here, press delete. You don't need it there. So, and then you can, the new patient form, you just want to make sure you scroll down. You want to make sure that your new patient form, which is actually a funnel page, when you get your funnel page set up, you're going to have a domain, you're going to have a URL, you're going to paste it in there. And then you want to always update these little footer things where it says your med spa. It's going to actually be the name of your med spa. So I hope all of this makes sense. There's a lot to learn. Please don't cry. Please have fun with it and understand this is one of the easiest builders in the world. So once you get it down, you're going to be able to make updates and changes like nobody's business. But it just takes a while to get used to. And you'll do fine. Don't worry. You'll do fine. Just remember to please keep pressing that save button. If you like your changes, press the save button. Know that you can always undo, but you don't want to lose any changes that you've made. When you're done with each page of your website, go back and then go to the next page and work on that next page. And just know that this individual, this account that we're in right now, this Revolana template, it's not a live account. It's a fake account. So what you're going to want to do, and this is extraordinarily important, make sure that you have your domain set up in Revolana, number one. And if that makes you cry, hire us to get that done for you. Or we'll do it if you have us on the full service setup. What you want to do is get your domain set up with Revolana, and then you want to go into the settings, right? And then what you want to do is select the domain for the website. So we taught you how to do that for the funnels. You want to select the domain for the website. And it's when you click here, it'll show your domain choices below. You want to make sure you choose the one without the www. So if you're ABC Med Spa, you want it to just be https://abcmedspa.com, not www. Okay, you choose that one without the www. The other thing too is you see a favicon in here, but I want to show you what a favicon is. See, you have a little image here next to the word Revolana. That is a favicon. All of these have favicons, okay? So even Google has their, Google Maps has a favicon. So that's what this is. So what you want to do to get that favicon is, and then you're going to come back and paste it into this field. So this field is usually empty. You're going to come in and you're going to paste that favicon link into there, and then you're going to press the save button. But I'm just going to show you how to find that favicon link, and then we're going to call it a video. So if you have any other questions after this, just let me know. Ask at revolana.com and we'll get those for you. But you want to click settings, get over to your media, get into your media library, and then go to, like we have ours loaded in, our favicon. If you don't have a favicon, hire us to do your branding. You need a favicon. So what you're going to do, if it's not in your media library for your Revolana website, you want to go to upload. That brings you to your computer. Double click on your favicon, get it loaded in here. Once it's in there, what you want to do here is right click on it. Then get link. So you want to left click on get link. Okay? Then when you go back to where we were, you want to right click in that field, get in that field, or just do Control V, paste that link that you just picked up here. Paste that link into that empty favicon field, press save, and you're done. So that's enough for one video. There's more, but that gives you the basics. Thank you so much. And again, if you're going to cry, hire us. Let us take us off your plate because we love doing it. We keep our charges very, very reasonable all the time because we love you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.